We did it. Wow. Hey, Daddy. Can you come here for a second? Can you fix my camera?
What do you mean fix it?
It's not facing me.
I don't know if I can.
Thanks, Daddy.
Get to the bottom. Get to the bottom. Hold and steady wheel. Clear high. Quick. Yellow, 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 yellow. Check your belts. We're going to the green. Nice and smooth there. We're going green. Inside is on your bumper. Green flag. Go, 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 go. Still there. He's outside. Right along. Get out there. Off there. Still there. He's outside. Outside. All clear. All clear. Still a car out there. Clear, clear. Inside still there. Hold your line. Clear up top. Outside still there.
Oh, fudge.
Clear. Outside, hold your line. Clear. Inside, good drive off here. Clear down low. Yellow, 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 yellow.
Hey, Mama, did you hear me coughing this morning? Whatever the hell, man. Who's here? What?
Inside, gonna drive off here. watch your speed. clear. Inside's still there. Clear all around.
Mama, are there any crackers? How about chips?
Lincoln likes softness, so. On camera, but she did express how devastated she is. She says until now, she's been living with McCovery. DeMarco McCovery is now charged in the child's death, accused of first-degree child abuse, a felony punishable up to life in prison.
He made admissions of what occurred that day, being the last person to witness this infant alive.
Investigators say McCovery brought the child to Otsego Memorial Hospital. The hospital called police saying the child's death was suspicious. And now state police say McCovery made several stops before going to the hospital.
You know, a death like this was completely preventable, and certainly the family's struggling right now. And it's difficult for the whole community when you have something like this.
Right now, McCovery is not allowed contact with the child's mother, and his bond is set at $500,000.
It's still under investigation. We haven't received the full report. It is possible that there could be additional charges.
McCovery is due back in court on July 12th for a probable cause hearing. The family has posted a GoFundMe page. We have posted that link on our website, 9and10news.com. Reporting live in Gaylord, Reagan Blissett, 9 and 10 News.
A Northern Michigan drug team says a driver that crashed his car in Benzie County was on crystal meth when it happened. The crash happened last Monday. The Travers Narcotics team says Brian Johnson of Cadillac was in the car that blew a stop sign and crashed into a yard near M115 and US 31. Detectives say they found this: crystal meth, needles, cash, and more. Johnson was arrested for intending to sell meth, maintaining a drug vehicle, and driving while on drugs.
A Grand Traverse County animal control officer has been fired. The county started an investigation into Deb Zarafa in May. On June 5th, she was put on paid administrative leave. Now, this morning, Zarafa says she received a corrective action form terminating her effective immediately for deceitful and questionable conduct. Zarafa has worked with the department since 2016 and says she's been unlawfully terminated. We did reach out to the health department, but they couldn't give us any more details.
For it to come out today, that's just huge, and you can tell there's excitement here about it.
A breakthrough in the effort to get a new super lock in Sault Ste. Marie. The Army Corps of Engineers is now calling for a new lock just over an hour ago after state leaders met with members of the Army Corps earlier today. 9 and 10's Aaron Parsegian is live in the Sioux. Aaron, what does this mean moving forward?
Courtney, this is the first time the Army Corps of Engineers has asked for a new lock, which could take this proposal to the next level. It comes on the heels of an economic validation report released this afternoon that nearly tripled the benefit-cost ratio from the previous 2005 study. That means this project shot up on the federal government's priority list. New estimates say the cost would be just shy of $950 million. It could take 7 to 10 years to complete. We just spoke with State Senator Wayne Schmidt, who says this is a huge step towards making this new lock a reality.
To have this economic study come out, the 2.4 rating, that's huge. Anything over 1 is great, but to have 2.4 recognizes the national security impacts, the economic impacts, how important the Sioux locks are, and getting the twinning of the PO.
And if this project gets funded, it could employ thousands of people in the Upper Peninsula. Tonight at 11, we'll have more on that study, where the money would be coming from, and what's next on the timeline to make this a reality. Live in the Sioux, Aaron Parsegian, 9 and 10 News.
We want people to enjoy themselves. We want them to feel safe in Traverse City, so we're doing everything we can to make them feel that way.
Multiple agencies coming together to keep you safe at the National Cherry Festival. The festival officially starts tomorrow. Earlier today, first responders of a special briefing just for 9 and 10 News.
They shared the new way they're approaching security this year to keep everyone safe. 9 and 10's Whitney Amen joins us live at the open space to explain. Whitney?
Kevin and Courtney, every year, first responders do everything they can to keep everyone at the National Cherry Festival safe. But for the last year and a half, they have been working together on a new system so everyone can be in one place ready to respond.
We're all in the city of Traverse City, in the county of Grand Traverse, and in the state of Michigan. So we all have a vested interest in this being a safe event.
The Traverse City Police and Fire Department, the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office, Michigan State Police, and the county's emergency manager putting their resources together for a unified command.
We're able to brainstorm on how we're going to accomplish correcting that problem and putting those resources out into the field to make sure that we secure it and it's safely done.
Keeping everyone safe in case of a major emergency.
I've had the opportunity to tour the command center, and I'm really impressed that the city, the county, the state, and the feds are all together in one spot to monitor and manage every kind of crisis that we could have at this event.
Festival goers should still call 911 if they have an emergency, and the command center can dispatch the closest responder.
I can say from my 20 years of cherry festivals is that having a unified command, it's more of all of us working together to solve and make sure that the community is safe.
The departments involved tell me this will not take away response to other parts of the city and county. This just helps them work together even more efficiently. Live in Traverse City, Whitney Amen, 9 and 10 News.
The 2018 Patriot game is coming up. The new design just unveiled today, courtesy of a TC West Junior. Coming up on 9 and 10 News at 6.
I want it to be a community space. I want everyone to feel like they have a place here.
Plus, a place bridging community and creativity. A trip to a DIY art studio in Hometown Tourist.
We need to keep families and individuals in Michigan. We need to attract them. We need to keep them. And one of the ways that we can keep them is by having jobs thrive. And we do that by keeping taxes and regulations and spending under control.
You feel it the minute you get that ticket and hold it in your hand. Mega Millions. You're 6 numbers away from your moment.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to spend it than on a new Mercury-powered boat to Michigan's destination for fun, Spicer's Boat City. 4 winds and Glastron deck boats. These boats are hot right now. Incredible options and tons of room. Perfect for the family. Mercury-powered pontoons, Bennington, Sullivan, Quest, and Lund. Fishing, cruising, playing, we got you covered. Check out our incredible selection today. Spicer's Boat City, Michigan's destination for fun in Houghton Lake.
How do you show up? Do you just bring it? Or do you bring it all?
Focus. We gotta go.
Third row, like a pro. GM employee program participants with a GMC vehicle can get this low mileage lease on this 2018 GMC Acadia SLE1 for $239 per month with $719 due at signing. We are professional grade GMC.
I've delivered thousands of babies, and so when I hold that little baby in my hand, I think about what that baby is going to become. It's cemented in my mind the value of life. It's just so valuable, and so I get that from being a physician.
The weather is brought to you by Hart Dealerships of Roscommon and West Branch.
Hi, Tim Hart at Hart Ford Lincoln in Roscommon.
Get a 4-wheel drive Escape for $209 a month with 0 down. All-wheel drive Edge, $259 a month with 0 down.
Now that's a sweetheart deal. Hart Ford Lincoln, exit 239, Roscommon.
Now, Northern Michigan's most accurate and reliable forecast from the Doppler 9 and 10 Weather Team.
Well, the heat is moving in Northern Michigan, spot to be to help cool down. One of the many are the water. Beaver Island looking great right now. Of course, we're looking at temperatures in the 90s, the heat indices that feels like temperature, upper 90s to upper
hundreds, incredible, over 108 degrees, that is. Overall, very dangerous heat building in. Now, current temperatures in the 80s and 90s for so many spots. Dew points, they're getting higher. 71, Traverse City, Manistee, 69 for Houghton Lake. It's getting very uncomfortable, if not downright miserable. But we know it's going to get a whole lot worse. That's tomorrow morning. And dew points middle to upper 70s in some locations. It gets a little better in areas on Sunday, but it's still very uncomfortable, if not miserable, across northern Michigan. So that future heat index, what it's going to feel like come tomorrow. And there you go. Over 100 in so many locations. At least it's a little cooler in the UP. And for Sunday afternoon, still in the 90s to about 100 in Mount Pleasant. But it is calming down quite a bit for Sunday compared to Saturday. So how do you beat the heat? Drink lots and lots of water, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, and activities. Plan not to do much at all during the midday hours. Very early or very late in the day outside that bright sunshine that is. And of course, don't forget about your pets, the elderly. Try and keep cool in this really hot weather is going to be tough to do because tonight the winds out of the southwest are picking up. You're going to find a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, just staying strong for tomorrow. No rain showers in our forecast, lots of hazy sunshine. That's 5 p.m. And wet weather, maybe a sprinkle into Sunday morning. But Sunday afternoon is when our system comes through. It will help cool down the weather. But before that happens, the humidity and heat will still be around. Tonight, a muggy one. Low temperatures, upper 60s to mid-70s in Petoskey, upper 70s around Traverse City, Kalkaska, Mansalona. A very uncomfortable night across northern Michigan. Reed City tonight, 74. White Cloud, down to 76. Then tomorrow, the heat is on. Upper 80s, low 90s up north, the more comfortable areas there compared to, say, Sheboygan at 98. 98 for Grayling, 99 in Traverse City. And remember, these are not including the humidity. So heat indices in the hundreds for so many locations as actual air temperatures reach about record highs or breaking record high temperatures. There's a little cool down for Sunday. You'll find less humidity on Monday, so getting more comfortable. But the heat is still around. 80s and 90s on Tuesday. More the same for July 4th than 84 to 90 with a chance of storms come Thursday.
From the community, for the community. A trip to gather in Harbor Springs and how it's inspiring creativity from within. Next, in tonight's Hometown Tourist.
The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Sarah of Traverse City.
For too long, we've allowed big money.
Magic. Noggin. The educational service with hit preschool shows and 0 ads. Subscribe to Noggin now. Monthly subscription rates apply after free 7-day trial. Available on iPhone, iPad. Lily! She didn't cry this entire time. That means...
For just $159 a month. That's only $159 a month at your neighborhood Michigan Ford dealer.
JBC Golf Carts is Michigan's one-stop golf cart shop.
From mile to wire, JBC Golf Carts has a golf cart for you. With over 300 golf carts in stock and ready for sale, we offer the largest inventory in the state of both gas and electric golf carts, new and pre-owned. Take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing for 48 months on all new E-Z-GO golf carts, plus custom accessories and trained technicians on staff. So if you're in the market for a newer quality pre-owned golf cart, visit our showroom in Farwell or check out our inventory at jbcgolfcarts.com, your local E-Z-GO dealer.
Comfort Center is having the biggest mattress sale of the year. This week only save up to 70% on top brand mattresses like Serta, Simmons Beauty Rest, Symbol, and Tempur-Pedic. Memory foam mattress sets from $398, and most mattresses are available for same-day delivery. Whether memory foam, traditional coils, or a two-sided mattress you can flip, you're guaranteed to find the perfect level of comfort at the lowest price. Stop in and find out why Serta iComfort is the #1 mattress in America. Only from your local Comfort Center. We furnish the comfort. The rest is up to you.
Remember your first bike? No, your first real bike. So can you imagine the feeling you'll get from your first real truck? The GMC Sierra. GM employee program participants with an eligible GM lease can get this low mileage lease on the specially equipped 2018 GMC Sierra SLE for $199 per month.
CBS News this Friday, the long heat wave just beginning to hang over much of the country. Excessive heat warnings have been issued for tens of millions. And Steve Hartman has the remarkable story of a woman who lost her memory and fell in love with her husband all over again. But first, the headlines. It's 60 seconds.
The suspect in the deadly newsroom shooting appeared in court.
Journalists, like all Americans, should be free from the fear of being violently attacked while doing their job.
Today, we say hello, heat. 2/3 of the country's in this heat wave. It feels like you're melting. Severe weather in Montana. At least 4 reported tornadoes yesterday. Holy smoke. President Trump says he won't ask potential Supreme Court nominees if they would overturn Roe v. Wade.
I don't think I'm going to be so specific.
The president says he will announce his pick on Monday, July 9th.
A podcast host claims he prank called the president on Air Force One, pretending to be New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez.
Congratulations on everything. We're proud of you.
LeBron James announced Friday he's opting out of his contract with the Cavaliers.
All eyes have got to be on L.A. That seems to be the best fit.
I don't want to grow up.
It is the end of an era. Today, the final 200 Toys R Us stores in the U.S. will close for good. It's something that I grew up with, and to see it now, heartbreaking.
Good Friday evening. I'm Jeff Floor. We're going to begin tonight with a widespread heat wave that is not going anywhere anytime soon. Temperatures near and above 100 combining with thick humidity presents health hazards and will be around for many for a week or more. The National Weather Service posted a reminder today that heat kills more people each year than tornadoes, lightning, and floods. The biggest hotspot tonight is the Midwest, and Dean Reynolds is there.
In Chicago right now, the great outdoors is not so great.
Feels like it's 150 out.
Feels like you're melting, pretty much.
Heat so oppressive, officials are warning the public to beware. Rich Gaitis is with the local Office of Emergency Management.
Safety is everyone's responsibility, so we remind everyone to stay hydrated and check on our neighbors and family.
The thermometer readings are in the 90s across the Midwest, but as any dog can show you, when you add in the humidity, it actually feels like 110. Among the least fortunate are the 30,000 who lost power and their air conditioning after a storm in St. Louis. The heat index is in triple digits in Kansas City, Des Moines, and even Minnesota, where the Minneapolis Star Tribune said the state is now like Saudi Arabia with lakes. Denver's actual temperature yesterday was a record-tying 105. As the scorcher expands east, New York will bake this weekend. And so will Vermont, up to the border with Canada. Yes, Canada.
There are at least 80 outdoor activities scheduled here in Chicago this weekend, from fireworks to rallies to concerts, meaning thousands of people are just going to try to sweat it out. Jeff?
Dean Reynolds holding up well so far. When hot air gets trapped over an area, it is called a heat dome. And for more on this, weathercaster Lonnie Quinn is also outside tonight. Lonnie?
Jeff, I got to tell you, no one city is alone in this heat dome that you're talking about. Look at this statistic. 52.5% of the country had a temperature today of 90 degrees or more. And 22 states had towns that had feels-like temperatures of over 100 degrees. Now take a look at this graphic, because all of that area is shaded in pink, primarily in the midsection of the country. Big numbers. Kansas City had a feels-like temperature. And again, you heard from Dean, this is when you factor in the humidity with the temperature. Kansas City felt like 105. Green Bay, Wisconsin felt like 106. Tomorrow, Green Bay gets a little relief. It feels like 86, but that heat has now pushed to the east. Hartford feels like 112. Philadelphia feeling like 105. And speaking of Philadelphia, when you look at the long-range forecast for Philadelphia, every day for the next 10 days, they have a temperature of 90 or above, and you factor in the heat index, at least half that time it feels like the triple digits. And in a big city like Philadelphia and New York, if it's 95 outside, the cement heats up to 125. It feels like 129 inside a car after half an hour. So, Jeff, do what you got to do to stay cool out there. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, it's going to last for a while. All right, Lonnie Quinn, thank you very much. President Trump made some news aboard Air Force One as he flew to New Jersey for the holiday weekend today. He said he'll announce his Supreme Court nominee a week from Monday. Weijia Jiang is at the White House with more on this. Weijia?
Well, Jeff, President Trump is wasting no time. He says he is interviewing 6 or 7 people, including 2 women. And CBS News has learned right now there are 2 leading contenders. That's Brett Kavanaugh, a 53-year-old circuit court judge here in Washington, and Amy Coney Barrett, a 46-year-old who the president recently appointed to the 7th Circuit in Chicago. The president is also considering Amal Thapar, a 49-year-old circuit court judge in Cincinnati, and he would be the first Indian American to serve on the Supreme Court. The president says he's planning to announce his nominee in just 10 days on July 9th, and said he would probably meet with the candidates this weekend at his golf club in New Jersey, adding he would not ask them if they would overturn Roe v. Wade or about LGBT rights. Jeff?
Weijia Jiang's at the White House. Weijia, thanks. We do know more tonight about the 5 lives lost when a gunman opened fire yesterday in the Capital Gazette newsroom in Annapolis, Maryland. Gerald Fishman was the editorial page editor. Co-workers described him as quirky and smart, making sure everything was just right. John McNamara was a sports writer and copy editor who could talk fluently about everything from politics to literature. Wendy Winters, the special publications editor, was a mother of 4 and mentor to young journalists. She was called the heart of the newspaper because she cared so much about serving the city. Rebecca Smith was a sales assistant, engaged to be married. Friends and co-workers called her kind and considerate with a big heart. Robert Hyacinth was described as a gifted editor with the aura of an artist, inspiring colleagues to make journalism a beautiful craft. At the White House, the president, who is often critical of reporters, had this to say.
Journalists, like all Americans, should be free from the fear of being violently attacked while doing their job.
Chip Reed has been covering this attack at the Capital Gazette from the start. He has the latest tonight.
In Annapolis today, the victims of Thursday's mass shooting were remembered at a vigil. Not far from where Jared Ramos was earlier charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder. He appeared in court by video link from the nearby county jail where he is on suicide watch. He did not utter a word and showed little, if any, emotion. The judge ordered him held without bond after State's Attorney Wes Adams alleged that before Ramos opened fire, he turned the Capital Gazette newspaper's offices into a deadly trap.
The rear door was barricaded. Mr. Ramos then, as I told the judge, entered into the front door and worked his way through the office
where he was shooting victims as he walked through the office.
The weapon, a pump-action shotgun that police say Ramos bought legally about a year ago. The carnage could have been much worse if police had not arrived and found Ramos hiding under a table in less than 2 minutes. They say they thwarted what had been his plan to escape.
He was as angry an individual as I have ever seen.
Brennan McCarthy represented a woman who was harassed and stalked by Ramos for years. He says the moment he heard about the shooting, he knew it was Ramos.
I knew who did it. He did it. And you said it was inevitable. It was inevitable. That he was going to do something violent. The only question was, who would he get first?
You can see behind me, they're setting up for a paper every day. They say they will persevere through the pain. Jeff?
So impressive to hear Chip Reed. Thank you. Even though the suspect is not cooperating with detectives, his tweets and court documents are providing them with clues. Here's Jeff Pegues.
Investigators say Jared Ramos held a long simmering grudge against the Capital Gazette. A search of his home turned up evidence that he had planned yesterday's attack.
We did find evidence at the residence. I can't go into a whole bunch of details about it, but I will. That is evidence showing the origination of planning.
According to court documents, in 2012, he filed an unsuccessful defamation lawsuit against the paper and who wrote an article about the allegations he harassed and threatened a former high school classmate. As the case moved through Maryland courts, Ramos wrote on Twitter that he was a police report that he did not believe Ramos was a threat to employees at the paper. Ultimately, the paper decided not to press charges because it would be like putting a stick in a beehive. Thomas Marquardt was the paper's editor and publisher at the time when the paper was in a different location.
We had given a photo to the front desk with my personal instruction that if anybody that resembled him would come through the door, that they were to call 911.
One columnist says that there is little security at the paper's current newsroom, but he says that is by design so that the paper remains open to the community. But he added, yesterday a man with a gun took advantage of that. Jeff.
Chilling details, Jeff Pegues, thanks. 2 American labs are coming under scrutiny because of faulty cancer tests in Ireland. Hundreds of women were told they tested negative, only to find out years later they had cancer all along. Roxana Saberi spoke with a victim.
Emma Vikmahuna just won a big battle against an American company 3,000 miles away.
Whew.
But she's still fighting for her life.
I'm 37, learning about the process of dying.
The single mother of 5 was diagnosed with cervical cancer in 2016. But she says she would have had a better chance of survival if her earlier screening tests hadn't missed the warning signs.
You think you should have been diagnosed when? 2010. Which lab was involved? Quest.
Over the past decade, the American lab Quest Diagnostics, along with Texas-based Clinical Pathology Laboratories, or CPL, and an Irish lab, processed smear tests for Ireland's health service.
A government review 4 years ago found that the labs mistakenly cleared more than 200 women here in Ireland who were later diagnosed with cervical cancer. Since then, 18 of those women have died.
Smear test did. But most of the women affected were never told until one of them, Vicky Phelan, discovered a page from that review in her medical file.
I said to my mother, I said, Jesus, I said, Mom, you know, I actually had cancer in 2011. It wasn't just pre-cancer, it was cancer.
She was the first to go to court, and in April reached a roughly $3 million settlement with Ireland's health service and CPL.
My settlement will mostly be spent on buying me time and on paying for clinical trials to keep me alive and to allow me to spend more time with my children.
How concerned do you think American women using these labs should be?
Well, I think it probably is worth investigating in the States.
CPL and Quest, which says it serves half of all doctors and hospitals in the U.S., did not respond to our request for an interview. But in a statement, CPL says no screening program is 100% effective, adding, we adhere to the highest clinical standards. Today, Vikmahuna told us the $8.7 million settlement and an expected letter of apology from Quest will bring her some comfort. But that doesn't change the fact she's still going to die.
Are there ever any moments where you break down?
I've broken so many times along this process, but I do it when my children are asleep.
What makes you break down at night?
Because I'm going to miss them. So much miss them.
Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Ballydavid, Ireland.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News is the death of a father linked to a series of mysterious shootings at a popular campsite.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And for psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Trivago filters by average guest rating based on millions of reviews across multiple websites. So when I read excellent cleaning, I know I can rest easy in my ideal hotel. Hotel? Trivago. We just got married.
We're all under one roof now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many kids?
My 2, his 3.
Along with 2 dogs and Jake, our new parrot. That is quite the family.
Quite a lot of colleges to pay for, though.
A lot of colleges. Hey, you get any financial advice?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's the same plan they sold me before.
Well, your situation's totally changed now.
Right?
How about a plan that works for 5 kids, 2 dogs and Jake over here? Agree.
That would be great.
That okay with you, Jake?
Get a portfolio that works for you now and as your needs change from TD Ameritrade Investment Management.
Salon Pass. We're the world leader in medicinal pain patches. Our latest innovation, Salon Pass Lidocaine, using hydrogel-based technology with the maximum strength lidocaine you can buy without a prescription. Salon Pass Lidocaine. Nothing is proven stronger or more effective against pain.
In the scenic hills of Southern California's Malibu coast, a popular campsite remains a crime scene a week after a father was fatally shot. Police are now investigating whether it's linked to a long series of unsolved shootings. Carter Evans is there.
They got a lot in here. Sorry.
With access to the crime scene blocked, investigators still aren't talking, even after 8 shootings in and around Malibu Creek State Park over the last 2 years. Today, detectives are back looking for evidence at the campsite where Tristan Beaudet was shot and killed while he was sleeping in a tent with his 2 daughters, ages 2 and 4.
These are shotgun pellets.
Yeah, it's bird shots.
James Rogers told us he was hit while sleeping at a campsite.
I tried to get up and just fell right through the hammock down to the ground.
So you had no idea what happened?
No idea.
Melissa Tangelo had a similar experience while camping in her SUV.
My boyfriend walked around and he was like, that's a bullet hole. And I was like, okay, it is, right?
And the owner of this Tesla says a bullet struck his car just 4 days before Beaudet was killed. The Sheriff's Department has not responded to our repeated requests for an interview, but today released a statement saying a link between the past shootings and the murder will be explored. There are posted warning signs at the park for everything from rattlesnakes to poison oak, but nothing about the shootings.
I think anyone that's going to walk in through those gates needs to be told it.
The campground is now closed indefinitely, but the rest of the park is still open. And beyond the lack of warnings, there is frustration among the shooting victims we spoke with. They feel like their initial reports were not taken seriously. Jeff?
Carter Evans, thank you. Coming up, your family is forced to clear out when a Colorado wildfire explodes in size.
Hawaii is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We're the most isolated population on the planet.
Hawaii is the first state in the U.S. to have 100% renewable energy goal. We're a very small electric utility, but if we don't make this move, we're going to have changes in our environment and have a negative impact to Hawaii's economy.
Verizon provided us a solution using smart sensors on their network that lets us collect near real-time data on our power grid.
This technology is helping us integrate rooftop solar, which is a very important element of getting us to our renewable energy goals.
If we can create our own energy, we can take care of this beautiful place that I grew up in. Here, babe.
Nasty nighttime heartburn? Try new Alka-Seltzer PM gummies. The only fast, powerful heartburn relief plus melatonin so you can fall asleep quickly.
Oh, what a relief it is. Some hotel websites are just too complicated. Click here, it's like that. What? A registration? What's up with all these pop-ups? And now they tell me it's fully booked. What a waste of time. All I really want is a good 4-star hotel with Wi-Fi, a spa, and to have Kitty with me. By simply telling Trivago what I want from my hotel, I find it for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
Over the last 24 hours, you've finished preparing him for college. In 24 hours, you'll send him off thinking you've done everything for his well-being. But meningitis B progresses quickly and can be fatal, sometimes within 24 hours. While meningitis B is uncommon, about 1 in 10 infected will die. Like millions of others, your teen may not be vaccinated against meningitis B. Meningitis B strikes quickly. Be quick to talk to your teen's doctor about a meningitis B vaccine.
Your brain changes as you get older, but Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
Shopping the Woods Way is more than just an idea. It's our way of doing business.
Come celebrate with your Brand Source Michigan Dealer of the Year at our annual tent sale. Discontinued, overstock, and scratched furniture up to 80% off. Carpet remnants starting at $20. Scratched, dented, and discontinued appliances on sale. And 25% off all furniture in the store. For a huge selection with outstanding service,
Shop the Woods Way. We deliver it, we install it, we service it. Put our experience, reputation, and pride of ownership to work for you.
In San Angelo, Texas, security cameras were rolling when a driver smashed his pickup through the front of a Walmart and started driving around the store. Police say he had an argument with his girlfriend and tried to run her down. He drove away and was arrested at a gas station. Nobody was hurt. Damage estimated at $500,000. AAA estimates nearly 47 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home over the 4th of July holiday. Nearly 40 million will be on the roads. With gas averaging $2.85 a gallon, drivers are paying at least 60 cents more than last year on average. At least 3.8 million travelers will fly. The TSA says today could be the busiest air travel day ever. In southern Colorado, a fast-moving wildfire has forced about 2,500 people from their homes. The spring fire started Wednesday night and has exploded nearly 24,000 acres now. A number of buildings have burned. It is not clear if any were homes. Up next, she lost her memory, then rediscovered the love of her life. Steve Hartman is on the road.
Tonight's On the Road segment is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
You're headed down the highway when the guy in front slams on his brakes and nowhere. You do too, but not in time. Hey, no big deal. You got a good record, and Liberty Mutual won't hold a grudge by raising your rates over one mistake. You hear that, Karen?
Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Plaque psoriasis can be relentless. Your plaques are always there at the worst times, constantly interrupting you with itching, burning, and stinging. Being this uncomfortable is unacceptable. I'm ready. Tremfya works differently for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. With Tremfya, you can get clearer and stay clearer. In fact, most patients who saw 90% clearer skin at 28 weeks stayed clearer through 48 weeks. Tremfya works better than Humira at providing clearer skin, and more patients were symptom-free with Tremfya.
Tremfya may lower your ability to fight infections and may increase your risk of infections. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infection. Tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or have symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Before starting, tell your doctor if you plan to recently receive a vaccine.
Ask your doctor